Pattie Simone here with the FlipReport, and I'm going to be speaking with Ginny Cooper, who has a company called the Cooper Group. She's based out of Florida. She's here at Realtime, New York, and she's going to be sharing a little bit about what she's covering in a workshop, right?
I presented the same presentation I did in TwitterCon San Francisco, because there seemed to be a repeat request for it, which was how to manage Twitter as a solo entrepreneur. I dealt with applying strategic planning principles to Twitter, and a lot of people go when you say strategic planning, which is basically just deciding on your objectives, determining what strategies that you need to put into place to reach those objectives, and then what tactics you're going to employ to carry out those strategies. And really you need to do that with everything that you do in life, whether it's something as simple as a to-do list or something more formal like a strategic marketing plan. Everybody should have a strategic plan for what they're doing on Twitter or any other social media platform. Don't go into it blindly.
So what is the kind of client base that you work with the most? Is it more the entrepreneur, or are there also a mix of larger companies that have dedicated people? Because obviously as an entrepreneur I know exactly what you're talking about. It's always
right, how do you manage it?
Right, and you're trying to do it, and you want to be there. Especially for myself, I was managing client work and not managing my own persona. And one day I went, got to get with
don't check out the last date of my blog either.
Same here.
No, my clientele is basically small businesses. I am not from a metropolitan area. I'm from Fort Myers, Florida, and so we're not a huge city. We don't have a lot of large industry base, manufacturing or corporate, anything like that. It's a lot of small businesses, a lot of tourism type businesses. So I am basically an outsource for my clients. I do their social media. I do traditional public relations. I'm basically a public relations and marketing professional. And there is nobody that I've been working with that has anyone in-house that does any of this for them. That's basically why they hire me.
Okay, and so when you're telling them about being strategic, can you give any tips, like 3 tips, or these are the things you must do as a solopreneur that you could share right now?
I really think that one of the best pieces of advice that I ever read was when Chris Brogan wrote a blog post one time about "you're doing it wrong." And that really applies not only to Twitter or social media, but to just about anything. And my biggest piece of advice is don't let some third-party application or some, quote, expert or guru, unquote, tell you how you should be doing social media for your own business or even for that of your clients. I think the best example that I use when I speak about this is Senator Claire McCaskill from Missouri, who has 55,000 followers on her Twitter account, and she follows nobody. She has a, quote, clout score of 0. But I don't think there's anybody that has any more clout than a legislator. And she uses it for her own purposes, and it's a very good example. She just basically wants to hear what everybody has to say in her jurisdiction, and she can't be following everybody back. So I just like to encourage people to do it your own way, not to worry so much about your score, your peer index, your clout, or anything like that, because what's important is your strategy. If you're connecting with the people that you need to connect with, it doesn't matter what your score is. It doesn't matter if you're an influencer. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. As long as you're achieving your objectives, and you really can't do that unless you've got a plan in place to do it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Laura Fitton has said this over and over again, that it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. Yeah. But for someone like myself who is, literally late in the game personally, because I was paying attention to client, obligations, you get to a point and Twitter says, okay, no more. You can't follow anybody else. You can't, connect with them. And I know we've actually developed a workaround on that you create lists.
Right.
So I know that you can do that. But at the same token, there are so many great people that you want to connect with, and so many people, yes, you can, quote, follow them just literally, but not, through the system. That gets to be kind of tedious, that you can't, that they have the limit.
That's true. And one of the other things I think is so interesting, and we've seen it in place right here at Realtime New York with the difficulties that we've been having with the internet access and that type of thing. And I have no phone service down here in the bowels of BB King. So that the face-to-face networking is still so important. It's never going to go away. I don't care how popular social media becomes. The handshake and the face-to-face is still going to be the way that people do business, and everything else is kind of like serendipity.
So I definitely agree with you on that. It's more than invaluable. Like, you use this as an entree to somebody, but then you get together with them and that helps.
Definitely.
Well, great. Thank you so much for sharing your information, your tips. And where can people find out more about you?
Well, that was my pleasure, Patty. And they can get all of my contact information at mycoopergroup.com. If you happen to have my business card, it has a QR code on it. You can just scan it, and it'll give you all my contact information, which is the next wave of things to come.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks again, Ginny.
Thank you, Patty. Appreciate your time.